You are watching Shalom World News. I'm David Kerr from Lansing in Michigan, and these are your latest news headlines from around the world. The US Supreme Court has unanimously found in favour of Philadelphia's Catholic Social Services, ruling that the organisation's free exercise of religion has been violated by the city's governing officials. In 2018, the city stopped partnering with Catholic Social Services in its foster care programme due to the Catholic agency's refusal to certify homosexual couples as foster parents. Instead, they prefer to place children with a married mother and father. In a 9-0 verdict handed down on Thursday, June the 17th, the Supreme Court ruled that the actions of the City of Philadelphia have violated the principle of religious liberty as defined in the First Amendment of the US Constitution. In their written ruling, Chief Justice John Roberts noted that Catholic Social Services was only seeking an accommodation that would allow it to continue serving the children of Philadelphia in a manner consistent with its religious beliefs, and were not seeking to impose those beliefs on anyone else. A leading bishop in the Philippines has welcomed the International Criminal Court's intention to investigate allegations of human rights abuses perpetrated by President Rodrigo Duterte's administration as part of their crackdown on illegal drugs. Bishop Broderick Pabilio, who is the administrator of the Archdiocese of Manila, says such an investigation would be a step towards ending a culture of impunity in the Asian country. He says that the Church has long been calling for transparency and accountability as regards the war on drugs. The ICC say they also want to probe killings between 2011 and 2016 in Davao City, where President Duterte was previously mayor prior to being elected president. In response, President Duterte has vowed to never cooperate with any probe by the International Criminal Court. A Catholic priest in Myanmar who was detained and interrogated by the country's military has now been released. Father Michael Aung Ling was arrested on June the 16th on charges of supporting resistance forces in the western state of Chin. Before he was released, however, Father Aung Ling says he was made to sign a document in which he pledged not to support any movement or individual that is fighting government troops. In the wake of the country's military coup in February of this year, the state of Chin, which is among the country's least developed, has become among the fiercest battlegrounds of resistance. It's estimated that 100,000 people in the region have now been forced to flee to the jungle to seek shelter and safety. The National Security Police in Hong Kong have arrested 2 executives at the pro-democracy newspaper Apple Daily, which is owned by the Catholic businessman and philanthropist Jimmy Lai. On Thursday, June the 17th, police arrested a total of 5 staff, including the newspaper's chief executive and chief editor, on charges of violating Article 29 of the National Security Law, which prohibits collusion with a foreign country. The National Security Law was imposed upon the former British colony by the communist regime in Beijing last year. Apple Daily is the only Hong Kong newspaper that supports democracy. The Hong Kong authorities have also now frozen the assets of Apple Daily and their affiliated businesses. The Southern Baptist Convention in the United States has passed a resolution calling for the abolition of abortion. The governing body of the Protestant denomination gathered in Nashville, Tennessee on Wednesday, June the 16th. More than 15,000 voting representatives took part in the convention. The approved policy on abortion marks a shift on the issue for Southern Baptists, who have traditionally always sought an incremental approach to ending abortion rather than via sweeping abolition. Pope Francis has praised the endeavours of the International Labour Organization, which is celebrating its 119th anniversary. The International Labour Organization, or ILO, is a United Nations agency whose mandate is to advance social and economic justice through setting international labour standards. In a video message, the Holy Father stressed the significance of the rights of workers as countries are restarting their economies after the COVID-19 pandemic. The Pope said special care should be given to employees on the fringes of the labour market who are still feeling the effects of the pandemic. An architectural historian who has worked tirelessly to protect and promote historic Catholic churches in England and Wales has been honoured by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth in her birthday honours list. Sophie Andreas, who has served the English and Welsh Bishops' Conference as Vice Chair of its Patrimony Committee since 2002, has been made a Commander of the Order of the British Empire, or CBE, for her services to heritage. Upon learning of her honour, Miss Andreas said that she was delighted, extremely honoured, and promised to continue working to protect and promote the Catholic heritage of England and Wales. Finally, priests across Ireland have been celebrating Masses for the renewal of the Catholic faith on the Emerald Isle at Mass rocks in all of the country's 26 dioceses. Mass rocks, which are often found in secluded rural locations, were used to offer Holy Mass in centuries past when the Catholic faith in Ireland faced persecution at the hands of foreign oppressors. Each of the Masses were celebrated for the intention of the renewal of the faith in Ireland through the intercession of the Irish martyrs, whose feast day, as it happens, takes place on June the 20th. The campaign was organised by the Irish Office of the Charity Aid to the Church in Need. Well, that's your latest headlines. Do join us for more tomorrow. You can also visit us at swnews.org for news updates. Shalom.